feel like there's been so much it's my finances. The budgeting, you see how I am nitpicking every little thing. I've never been like that. We were in Bloomingdale's yesterday. I'm like, we have to go to H&M.
Yeah.
Like I notice it.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
B. Simone claiming that she's so broke that she has to shop at H&M is both satisfying and hilarious, bro. I mean, what type of first world problems are these? She's over here about to bust into tears talking about, we had to shop at H&M. And listen, this isn't like one of those praying for someone's downfall or happy for their downfall. No, this is one of those situations where if anybody with any type of real lived experience in real life watched how B. Simone was moving in life in general, especially when it came to her expectations for men and dating, like the whole I don't date dudes who work 9-to-5 jobs, and her being in this position, you're just happy to see someone drink some coffee.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Nobody likes the moment they realize, you know what? My perspectives were all jacked up.
And it's not even, I just don't have it like to spend liquid.
Yeah.
I'm used to having liquid. And because I've invested in this app and this platform, I don't have the liquid. I got the money.
Not yet.
Not yet. It's coming. I have it in assets. I have it in jewelry. I have it in, but it's like the liquid. I'm used to seeing a certain amount in my account. And
all right. So we're not going to listen to this whole podcast, but everybody is talking about that particular segment. And it's not just toxic men like me who think that two people should come together and maybe if one person works and the other person works, they should both contribute to the bills if one person, particularly the man, cannot pay for most of the bills, like most couples do in the United States. You have chicks, and I'm not talking about just any women. I'm talking about modern women who are also chiming in on this moment, being like, whoa, what a full circle moment from this right here.
Can't have a 9-to-5.
What? Why not? You don't want him to have an honest job?
I mean, he could be a hustling entrepreneur.
So you want him to be you want CEO status?
Yes.
Okay.
Baby girl, baby boy, everything in my life, I have manifested it. These edges, they were gone as fuck, manifested them back, okay? This waist. It's getting there. I'm still hungry. I'm not eating. I'm eating air, but I'm manifesting. I believe one day it'll be little. I do. Everything I have, my dream career, I manifested it. I'm trying to manifest a husband. Ain't nothing wrong with a nigga with a 9-to-5. I get it. They work hard. I used to have a 9-to-5. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong. You work hard, you have money. I get it. I need an entrepreneur. I need somebody that understands my mindset. Somebody that has the same lifestyle. It has nothing to do with money, everything to do with lifestyle. Okay? When I'm in the bed at 3 a.m. checking emails, what you doing, babe? Working. What you doing? Working. Okay, love you. You want to hop on a flight tomorrow? I have a meeting in out of town. You want to go? You got okay, let's go. Okay. You understand my life. You understand what I'm going through. I want to manifest that. What do you want in a man? What do you want? Let's start there.
Aren't you so happy when reality just forces women coffee down their throats? I mean, this is no different from the Ebony K. Williams situation where she sat there and looked at everybody and said, I won't date a man, especially if he's a bus driver, unless if he owns the bus. And now she is living the single mother by choice life and had to come online and admit that she was wrong about a lot. It's always a beautiful thing to see someone take a shot of espresso, but nobody's forgotten this. Nobody's forgotten the transition from going from bragging about what you're not going to deal with, what you deserve, to reality smacking you in the mouth like it does to all of us. And you finally realizing that nothing is promised. You can't rely on just financial or economic attraction, because even if you do find that man, what happens if he loses that money? What happens if he's in the same exact position that you are in right now, broke and shopping at H&M? And you know what? And I like H&M. What's wrong with H&M? I shop at H&M. Yeah, that hit me personally. And I actually like Zara more. A lot of you guys asked me where I got this jacket. I actually got it from Zara, but I got a lot of comments from you guys asking me like, yo, Chisha, where'd you get your jacket from? This is the one. You can go get it yourself. But when you're crying like this on camera because you have to shop at H&M, I think you got bigger problems.
Ain't nothing wrong with an entrepreneur, nigga. Manifest whatever you want. I want to manifest an entrepreneur and husband. I don't care what you do. Entrepreneur. graphic designer, sell t-shirts, sell drugs, rapper. You could be a rapper.
Now, she sat there and said, I don't care what you do. Graphic designer. Then she starts talking about rapper or sell drugs. And there's a part of a lot of us who look at B. Simone like, okay, she is kind of like a comedic figure. You know, she's comical, but she actually means that. She has been attracted to people like the baby for a long time. And she's talking a lot about manifestation in this video, but things have changed for B. Simone. Things have changed drastically. Recently, she gave her heart back to God, came back to church, and this is her now.
Seeking your face, God. Show us the face of God tonight, Jesus. We're seeking your face, God. We're seeking a breakthrough, Jesus.
All right, so you guys got the idea. She has some type of community here where she is female focused, because I don't see other men, some type of like women's ministry. They pray, so on and so forth. I'll say this, and I'll always will say this. I think it's a wonderful thing when anybody makes an effort to get closer to God. As somebody who identifies as Christian, myself, I believe it's a wonderful thing. But she caught a lot of backlash for this video, particularly not for anything she was doing, but her outfit, right? A lot of people are saying this was very inappropriate, her wearing these booty shorts to this event. And there were a lot of posts like this one that's captioned, B. Simone's short shorts and blazer church fit sparks viral debate. She does not represent the church. Let's check it out.
B. Simone is not a representation of the church.
I wouldn't have worn a blazer where it looks like I don't have anything underneath.
I probably wouldn't wear something like that. And then when you have these platforms, I also think that that is a chance to spread the gospel a little more. And I wouldn't want to do anything that can potentially compromise my witness. And that is all the way down to attire, the way you present yourself. And I think even with this younger culture, a lot of times we look for people who look like us, but there's a way to do it. Modesty.
I want to say this from a more seasoned perspective. Anytime we start saying what I'm not going to do, I. The more I say I, the less I'm concerned about him. You can tell when we are immature or we're not learned or we're not seasoned in the faith when everybody is talking about what they're not going to do. And I want to keep my authenticity. And every time somebody is saying I, then you have to question, well, what part of your ministry is about him?
All right, so here's my stance. Bottom line, I agree. Right. And the interesting thing is, to most people, and when I say most people, I'm including people who don't identify as Christian. They will look at this and probably think like, man, this doesn't seem that bad. But, you know, we have to remember that if you do read your Bible and take it seriously, the Bible says that the natural man, this is the everyday man, receiveth not the things of the Spirit, for they are foolishness unto him. He does not understand. Most people aren't going to understand this. With that being said, I believe this is a journey. And sincerity is proven over time by the fruits of that person's labor. You know, the Bible also talks about false prophets. And we see a lot of people right now who are leaning towards converting to Christianity because it's currently popular and it may gain them a bigger audience. I personally think that's good. And I'm talking about Christianity being popular is good because some people are going to be more open and they will actually have a real change of experience. They are people who are going to pretend, and that will only be revealed because only God truly knows someone's heart, someone's true intentions. But over time, the Bible tells us that you will know by their fruits, and that takes time. The fruits of their own personal life and also the things that they produce. So in the end, I know people have strong opinions. And while I know as Christians, we should be praying for people, and that's something, there are things that I have to work on over time. There are things even on this channel that I've been like, okay, I need to improve in this area. I need to improve in that area. I still think people should be careful with who they look up to and just, you know, be careful. Because especially after I saw this video right here that recently dropped of B. Simone and the baby. Check it out.
Is that your foot? I love you.
I love you too.
Welcome back to another episode of Let's Try This. You don't need no introduction.
Let's go.
When's the last time you've been in love?
When I met you, I'm like, I don't know how to take this girl.
You thought I was playing.
You were.
Do you think I am too
alpha, too boss to have the alpha man? Like, could a guy like you really, really date a woman like me? Jonathan, I've never heard you say that.
You never asked.
I have. You're so scared of marriage.
No, I'm not.
So I really want you to think about this, man. We're just gonna have an honest conversation here. This video that she released is called "I'm Going Through a Spiritual Battle," and in this video, she talks about how she feels like she's fighting. I'm gonna put a word in there that she didn't put, but she said things that she couldn't see. I'm assuming she's talking about forces that she couldn't see. I'm assuming this is inspired from the verse in the Bible that talks about, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers in high places." This is a spiritual battle overall. And she's crying and all this. But when you see this video, I'm like, how do you go from you're looking for a husband, you're done manifesting, you're praying, and then you bring the baby on your platform and you're here flirting with him and sounding like you want him to bust the cheeks. And this is why, man, this is why I say women need guidance, because none of this is adding up if you ask me. Some of you may be saying, what's wrong with the baby, bro? Well, I'm saying if you're somebody who's like, okay, I identify as Christian, I'm looking for a good man, maybe somebody who has the same faith as me, because it wouldn't make sense that you want somebody who doesn't value the same things that you do, right? Spiritual belief, your religion is a core value. Well, let's look at the baby's recent songs. 4 months ago, "I'm a Hoe Too," featuring Young Miami. Well, I don't think I even have to do this. I don't think I even have to do this, if I'm going to be honest with you. I think for those of you who get it, even those of you who want to argue, you get what I'm trying to say.
You will.
No, I'm not. Why do you think that?
I mean,
Last question, and then we gone. This is just fun, and you don't want a relationship, and I don't want that either. We're on the same page with that, so don't get weird. But
had a pizza in front of me. I'm like, I'm past the food.
Yeah.
It's 9 days of water. I'm past the food. It's just the mental. Your spirit is yearning for answers. I'm about to cry now.
Yeah, I know, me too. I know.
It's like you're yearning for God's voice. You're yearning for something to hold.
Because when you fast, your spirit becomes set apart, and you're sensitive, and you're seeking, and you're desiring something of Him. Do you feel like you're getting what you are seeking for? Or is that where your frustration is? Was that the tears?
I feel like today I was weeping in prayer. I was like, God, help me.
You were. I woke up. That was my alarm this morning.
I can't believe you heard me.
Oh, I woke up and you were like going at it. Jazz called and she's like, where's Braylon? Like, we have a phone call. I was like, baby, it's going to be another 30 minutes. She is in there wailing.
One of the things I realized about, like, when you hear chicks talk about even things like spiritual matters, they speak in really non-concrete ways, right? Like, you almost don't know what they're talking about. Like, what are you actually talking about here? I'm yearning. I need some. What are you? And I think this is a type of Christianity which I don't relate to, where you don't want to define what you're looking for, because definitions, expectations, actually taking the scripture for what it says would be too limiting. And you see this a lot with like people who talk about manifestation and just really open sort of these really like new age and obscure speaking in tandem, and it's all emotion based. There's no real point to this. What are we talking about here? What are you actually seeking? I just think she just sounds like she's been traumatized by life in general, and she needs to chill out. And I think it's hilarious that people don't think we can even talk about these things when we see people like Brittany Renner, who went from married with the hijab, and now she's over here with it off. And you have her own followers here in the comment section saying, girl was cosplaying someone's religion. Somebody else who says attention is a hell of a drug. Here's somebody else who added, my girl treated religion like it was a career day at school. And it's just a huge joke to a lot of people. And listen, like I said, for anybody, male or female, anybody who's trying to improve their life, get closer to God, and it doesn't have to be the same belief that I have, right? Improving your life. I'm happy to hear anybody who's trying to improve their life for the better, because any sense of value system that most people try to reach for, a belief, is usually based in them wanting to be more positive. And that in itself, I congratulate most people for and want a better life for anybody. But we can't deny that there is a percentage of a lot of these public figures who are out here just simply pretending. The final topic that a lot of people keep on rambling about is this moment in this podcast with B. Simone and her friend, where she pretty much, her friend is talking about struggling financially while having a successful, rich friend. And I'll just play it, let you guys listen.
This was the hardest season of my life this last year. And sometimes from the public perception, it's like being a best friend with a celebrity. Everybody thinks that, oh, because you're connected to this person, then, I mean, this was the hardest season of my life this last year. And sometimes from the public perception, it's like being a best friend with a celebrity. Everybody thinks that, oh, because you're connected to this person, then your life is just as grand as theirs, or you got
it, or they helping you.
Baby, when I tell you, didn't have a job, living with my parents, a single mom, all this happened to me this past year.
Jesus.
And then it's like to not have resentment in my heart towards you because I saw you do this for other people. I saw you give a check to somebody to help them through whatever they went through. And it's like, God, like, I love from depths of my soul, and I can't get nobody didn't give me a handout, but guess what? That wasn't your responsibility. God had to take me through that for my own season, for my own thing. I had to get my car repossessed.
Jesus.
I had to go through the food stamps line. I had to be on Medicaid because whatever I'm building my story too.
Oh, that's crazy, bro. That's wild. I was almost thinking to myself, like, okay, I get you were going through a hard time, but it's not your friend's responsibility to help you out. But damn, food stamps, Medicaid, and all that B. Simone is over there saying is Jesus. I mean, that's crazy. That's a little bit wild. And I never talk about my personal life. You guys know I'm pretty private, but I've helped a lot of people. I still help a lot of people. And yes, when you are blessed enough to have a platform that has grown like mine has, and you truly do believe in what you're doing, because one of the ways that I can keep on doing this, and I'm talking about this from like a mental perspective, personal perspective, is I am a real practitioner of the things I talk about. I've been through the dating. I've been through the process of vetting a wife. I'm, now have a family. And one of the most exciting things that I'm going through right now is actually helping guys out, prepare and legally protect themselves via prenuptial agreements. You head over there to fathershaverights.com. If you need a prenup but don't know where to start, our guide helps you. And all the information is presented by expert attorneys, but it's a guide showing you something I wish I had, how to get a prenuptial agreement, where to start. And one of the most wonderful things I was able to do, recently is make this as accessible to as many men as possible, because you can access the knowledge of 2 attorneys for less than the cost of a couple of coffee dates. Think about that. Game changer for men. Anyways, in the end, I get the struggle when it comes to expectations and people reaching out to you. Trust me, it's real. However, if this was a very close friend of mine and I knew they were on food stamps, I think I would have done something for sure. There's no way I would allow my close friend. I don't really know these people's dynamic. I don't really follow B. Simone enough to know if she's like a best friend or anything like that. But there's no way. And I've taken care of people many, many times. But other people may have different values. This is the part where I ask you, what would you do in this situation?
Somebody who has it, it's hard to digest because everybody around you, they're probably shocked that I'm even saying this right now. All this year.
In less than 12 months.
What? But I said all that to say, like, I don't even know what was it?
Just not being resentful. And it's both. It's you knowing, oh, that's not your responsibility. And it's me knowing I can help the right people.
Yeah. But the flip side of that is like, okay, not me. Everybody has their own lesson.
Right.
Mine is like, okay, don't be resentful. But you were trying to fight through bitterness or unforgiveness, whatever.
I did that already.
Right.
All right. Well, that's enough for that. Guys, what do you think of B. Simone's full circle moment? comment down below. And of course, last but not least, my currently engaged or soon to be married men, if you're interested in a prenuptial agreement, want to know more, head over to fathershaverights.com and access this prenup guide that will walk you through every step of the way. Check out this review from a real customer that reads that this guide is absolutely gold. I only wish I had it before my first marriage, which took 5 years to dissolve. It was nasty and completely obliterated me financially. This time around, I discussed a prenup with my fiance. She drinks coffee. That's good. So she's fully on board. And I can honestly say I would have fallen into a few major traps if it hadn't been for this resource. Thank you, Chisha. TLA, that's the lead attorney, and James. We're talking about James Sexton. Those are the two attorneys in there, for helping save us men and giving us the tools to start our future marriages on the right footing. Remember, you can't control the future, right? There's no fail-proof protection in any situation, especially marriage today. But with the properly drafted prenuptial agreement, you can limit your losses. So head over to fathershaverights.com and access your prenup guide today. Appreciate you guys. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.